Hey guys, just wanted to give a little bit of a market update. Just going through the charts really quick. I added a level of interest here on the blue in the blue area, and now because of that, it's now because I added that there. If let's just zoom out really quick. I added that because I saw a little bit of market interaction here. Okay, um, let's see. So you saw a little bit of rejection, a little bit of resistance here. Then we broke through that area, and then another little bit of resistance here. So, it just made sense to me that we would revisit that area. And then look, we had a little bit of tap right into it. So I did that. That does look like an area of interest. I had that added a while ago. And I guess I must have deleted it. But 58,300s was the area. And see, right now we're right back into this area of consolidation. We did have some kind of manipulated push down just to, clear out some stop losses. And we had a nice closing right into the area, which gave me the impression that we could resume a little bit higher. Now, right, let's just zoom in a little bit. We're just kind of waiting right now. It's a little boring. So we'll see if we get that nice last push uh, above here and then right into $60,000. Right now, the market is in a state of euphoria. So I'd be a little cautious to see what would happen. I don't expect this to go right into it and then consolidate here and push higher. I do expect maybe a tap here and then maybe a little downside and then maybe a resumption higher. But again, markets are not predictable. So yeah, I'm just here to pretty much give a little clarity. Through all the euphoria, a lot of people, especially on Twitter, are just banging on about we're going to all-time highs, and we're mooning by the end of the week. We'll see, right? We want to keep ourselves level-headed. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe we might get another push like that and up. That just doesn't make sense to me. But markets could stay rational. We are hearing reports of ETF applications being sent in. And that could be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of situation where we're just buying, hit the resistance, and then maybe get a sell off due to that, that type of nature, because the market tends to have that buy the rumor, sell the news, atmosphere, just like any other market, right? So this is what I see. So now on the weekly, we're going to zoom out on the weekly a little bit. Let me just X that out really quick. I did get my laptop, my Pro in, so it's just getting used to with the mouse pad. I got to get or whatever, the touchpad. I do have to get a mouse for this because I'm not really used to this. It's going to be a little hard to maneuver, but we'll see what we can do. So as you can see, on the weekly charts, we came up to this level, and then we kind of poked through it a little bit, right? We had that little poke right into it, and then came down, and then kind of resumed right back in. So we'll see exactly where the week ends. It is Thursday, so we'll see what happens. Friday usually not that much in my eyes, not really a lot of activity. We might be just consolidating a little bit, but right now we're just in this area, in this local area. And you can see why I marked that out, right? You see how I had a nice little rejection here, then a little bit of support here, and then a rejection added to a slam down. So that $58,000 range, to me, shows that there's a lot of supply, a lot of selling pressure from that area, from that zone, and hopefully that does come out to show everyone that we're gonna have a little bit of a tough time here, right? I don't think we're just gonna be able to push right through in one instance like that. But again, the market tends to surprise people, so we'll see how that works out. So just wanted to show that area. This is the area where we have to pull through, where we have to, in order for us to continue higher. This is the area for me. If we're able to clear this out, 64, then we're able to resume higher to all-time highs. When will that happen? I don't know, right? We don't know that yet, but we are on the right track, right? As you can see how I pointed out on the last video, you see these weekly candle closures. You can see that they're kind of just taking the steps, right? They're taking the stairs up. And then when you zoom in on the daily, you could see that we have consolidation, up, consolidation, and then up. So it could be possible we have a nice one push into the 60,000, or we have some kind of pullback. But just wanted to give an update on Bitcoin because I think, it's important, right? We just want to keep you guys updated as to where the market could go. Or, I mean, for me, I still think we're going to hit all-time highs, but this month, I don't know, could be possible, could not. Let's see what the monthly looks like. I mean, the month looks extremely bullish. I do like these kind of candles where it's just a vacuum straight down, because as quick as it went down, it'll go up just as quick. A nice little recovery there, and you can see that right here. This is important to clear, and we're right there. We're almost there. We are almost there. So to convince me that we can resume higher, if we can get a closure above, into 59,000, that would be significant for us to kind of just resume higher. So again, just giving you a macro, zoomed out approach into it. Let's see what the 3-day looks like. Not too bad. Nothing really stands out. Again, you can still see, even on the 3-day, that blue area really does stand out, right? Just let me know, if you have any feedback or comments on those kinds of levels. But it does stand out to me, so it would just make sense, again, that we would revisit and then have a tough time here. Let's see what happens, right? We could get a little consolidation, a little step higher, or we can have a little consolidation and then a fail back towards 48 to $50,000. But this also stands out to me as well, right? So this is another level that I like to see get retested around 52,000. We did get that here, but that was Bitstamp. I think this is Bitstamps. I didn't see that wick in the other exchanges. So that was wild. I'm sure a lot of people who long and had a stop loss around those levels were pretty upset. So just keep that in mind, that there's there's going to be a little bit of movement like that. It's going to be a little volatility coming up to these levels. So just to recap, going here, right, could be a buy the rumor, sell the news with the ETFs coming out, and then we could get a resumption, a pullback or a rejection off those levels back into one of 3 levels, right? It could be here or in the green here. Okay, so hopefully that made sense a little bit, but pullback's always healthy, right? So let's not get nervous. For me, it's a buy the dip opportunities in Bitcoin, but more importantly, the alts, just because I feel like that's a better risk to reward ratio. Not financial advice, terms and conditions, right? So that's it for Bitcoin. Okay, let's move on to Ethereum. Now, Ethereum had an interesting movement, as you can see, and I always want to go back in history, right? I always want to go back just to show you exactly how I came across these levels. This is the 3-day, so you see we had a rejection, slam down, and then we had another rejection here, but we consolidated it a little bit and then pushed through that weekly level of 35.80. That was pretty interesting to me. And then let's see the weekly, as it gives you a better, gives you a clearer picture. See right here, we had a little rejection, then a slam down. So for me, we had to revisit those levels. We came here and then we had a slam down. So for me, we have to retest here, and then we had to retest this level again. And then down here as well. Okay, I think I went over the first video, but why these levels stood out to me. So let's go to the daily really quick. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, so let's zoom in on the daily really quick. This is the level. We started here on the day. We started here, had a rejection, but this level held at 3,300, 3,400, which was again a level of interest that I thought the market was paying attention to, and it seems like the majority of the traders were paying attention to that level as well. So we had a nice little pullback, and then right into the level, and then just kind of broke through. So this is the last level that I'm expecting to hit, right, to tap into. just like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has up to $60,000. You know, it looks like it wants to tap into the $60,000 range. That lines up with Ethereum trying to hit, you know, tap into the $3,900 range, and then we'll see from there. Again, just like in Bitcoin's case, consolidation a leg higher, or consolidation and a rejection, right? In which case, the pullback scenario, you already have your levels, right? About $3,600, $3,300, and then ultimately $3,000. So that's what you see for Ethereum. You know, I really don't pay attention much to the hourlies. That's only if I want a sniper entry. I also kind of want to do like a side by side, you know, comparison at some point. I don't know why that's a lot of that's messy. Let's just see. Hold on. Okay, let me just kind of put it into Ethereum. So this gives you a zoom. Okay, so I have here. This is going to be the daily. This is going to be the 8 hours. Let's see. Let me just do that. So that's the 4 hours, right? So on the daily, right, I like to see how the market reacts to these candle closures, right, above. Let me just make that darker. Okay, looks like it's not popping up there. Okay, just a little technical difficulties. But here, that's the level right there. So making that line across, let me just make that same line. I think that was here. Okay, so let me just make that a horizontal line. Perfect. Just make it darker. As you can see, I don't really use horizontal this line that much, but you can see how we have a little consolidation under that level, and then we kind of broke through, and then we had a resumption higher. Again, for me, 4 hours, it's too small of a time frame to like assume that we're going higher. I kind of like to look at the overall picture. So that's what I have for Ethereum. You know, the two scenarios, right? The two scenarios would be here, consolidation, breaking through. Hold on, let me just, that's messy. I can't do it with that. Just a consolidation and then a breakthrough, right? We'll find support above 3,900, or we'll come up to here, consolidate, and then pull back. Where could that pullback scenario be? I don't know. I don't know. To me, this kind of does look a little interesting, $3,100, because I just, you know, we have been resistance here. It just hasn't been flipped, right? We haven't really retested that area. Okay, so that's an area of interest for a pullback scenario. But again, not here to predict markets, but that area does stand out to me. For me, right? I mean, on a daily time frame, on a, you know, zoomed out time frame, it just stands out to me more. I just feel like we haven't really quite retested that to confirm. I mean, not even this level of $3,000. I kind of am scared to go back down to those levels, but we'll take it as it comes, right? So let's see what the weekly looks like. Yeah, I mean, weekly would make sense. That would just tap right into it, and then we'll see from there. We'll take it from there. So that's for Ethereum. Let's see what we have for Stellar Lumens, this XLM. Okay, so XLM was really interesting. This is on the daily, little consolidation, right, in that local area, and then we had just a nice hold right here for 1, 2, 3, for about 5 days, 4 or 5 days. We were holding this area, right into the weekly support, about 33 cents. And then what we did is we broke through right through that local level of interest, right, and then tap right into the liquidity, right into supply of 37 cents. So right now we're just consolidating. Excuse me, we'll just see, just drink a little coffee. We're just seeing where we go from there. Let's take a look at the weekly. Again, just so I can grain in your heads, that's what I have here, a little resistance. There was a little action over here as well, but I like to look at the candles. See, we have a little resistance here, then we had a slam down, you know, from the 41-cent area. My thing is, if we're able to come up and hold about around these areas, around this zone, then we can tap into 41 cents to see, and then a possible pullback, or we can get it from around this range here. It all depends on how the weekly closes. But for now, the candle looks good. Again, I like to look at the closures, right? We're right above it. We're taking the stairs right on our way up. Okay, I'd be scared if we have a red candle coming in and then closing right below this step right here. That would, cause a little concern for the pullback. But again, this is on a weekly time frame. Let's see, let's see the daily time frame. See the daily time frame we're just holding, right? That's all we're doing here. So I'd like to see another closure above this candle, which is about what, 37, let's just say 36.8. We could have a situation where we don't close all the way, but then see we had this close open here, but we never breached it, right? We just kind of barely tapped into it, but we were able to recover. So that's what I have here for XLM, right? A little consolidation here, and then a possibly push right into 41 cents. Again, lining up with Ethereum, trying to hit, tap into 3,900 or 4 grand. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? So let's just compare all three, right? This is the area that we're looking for. So we have 60,000, we have Ethereum right into 4,000, and then we have XLM right into 41.6 cents. So that's what we have waiting for us within the next couple of days. All right, and then last but not least, we'll look at XRP. XRP is it looks good on the weekly. It's a little wonky for me. We'll see how the weekly ends up. Right now it's just not much on the weekly. It doesn't look really much. It doesn't look like there was much activity on the weekly. The market's still indecisive. When we zoom into the daily, you can see we had that nice little consolidation, a push up, a tap into this level, right? A tap right into this level of 122, and we kind of just came back down, right? We came back down right through this level here, and then we just tapped right into this level of demand of, what is that? 107, right? So, and a lot of the traders were paying attention to this level as well. So let's see if we get a nice resumption up, right? Again, for this one, for XRP, we got to see I'd like to stay above this level here. If we can close above, let me just make this a better. If we can close above this line right here, then I feel a little more confident that we can resume higher. I need that nice little push just so we can go towards $1.33, $1.30, $1.33, and then right into $1.41. But until then, we're just waiting, right? Some of the traders entered here, and now we're just waiting to see where the market goes. The traders entered here. They possibly took a little bit of profit at this point, and just pushed their stop losses to break even. Risk-free trade. But right now, just zooming in, it's just not doesn't look like it's doing anything yet. I would assume we're gonna have some type of movement. I'm making that assumption because all the other altcoins started pumping. I mean, XLM, Ethereum, it's just for some reason XRP likes to be the laggard. But you see, when you zoom in on the 8, now you can see clearly how we have that nice resumption off, right? So all that's left is to close, have a nice, maybe a daily candle closure above $1.15, $1.16, and then we can resume higher. But you see how the picture becomes clearer, when you're zooming out. So you have a nice zoomed out, when you're zooming in rather, you have a nice zoomed out approach. You have your levels all planned out. You see where everything is. And then once you can kind of gauge more or less where your levels are on a zoomed out perspective, on a macro perspective, then it becomes easier trying to, enter into a position where, you can kind of enter here, right? That would be a situation where you would enter, not ideal, obviously, because we could probably, we could slam back down. We'll see where that ends. Again, hourly, I'm not a big fan of looking to hourly. It's too zoomed in for me. But you could see how the yellow just kind of holds for now, right, on that weekly. So I like to see, some just zoomed in, but you see we kind of just consolidate a little bit. We could get a slam down one more time into the $7, $4 range, or we can go here, consolidate here, and then just in resumption to 130. So that's two kind of scenarios. We're just waiting to see what happens. But it's just really boring right now on the hourly. Right. Sorry, I just it's I'm not used to this touchpad yet. I got to get better. So right, that's what I have for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XLM, and XRP. We're just kind of waiting now to see. Well, XRP, we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with them. So with it rather. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I have here. Also wanted to thank you guys for giving me the time. I try to make these videos about a half an hour. And try to jam pack as much information as I can. I appreciate you taking the time to, come and watch my videos. I would really appreciate it if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. At some point I would like to go over, news articles and stuff like that. And just kind of give a breakdown of what's going on a macro perspective. I just got to find the right format to do it. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I want to make sure that I make it clear, concise, really easy to understand, the whole inflation situation, the whole, CPI, what is that? Kind of give a breakdown of, the macro, right? The long-term approach to investing into this space. That's why I'm such a big fan of macro. It's pretty much it's like a big puzzle piece, right? And it's just moving every day. And pretty much when you're approaching it from macro, you kind of want to catch the trend before it happens. So Bitcoin for me was the obvious trend. I mean, you had a limited supply, you had the massive debasement of the currencies, right? You had the Federal Reserve and all the central banks printing money and pretty much devaluing our currency, and any assets or scarce assets for that, like real estate, Bitcoin, crypto, they start going up, right? So in that kind of environment, you know, Bitcoin and crypto for me was the easy trade. It was the most asymmetrical trade that I could find that made sense for me as a millennial. And I'd be able to break that down, go into detail as to what that is, and hopefully give you a better sense of how to approach the space as well, the macro approach. But other than that, yeah, please, I appreciate the time that you're giving me, and hopefully I can catch you guys on to the next one. Thank you.